Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another Dissidia Duellum Final Fantasy video, and today we are going to take a survey. So we are going to go through the beta test survey. I have not looked at it yet, so I'm going through this kind of blind with you guys, but I think it's curious. Like, surveys are actually a really important thing for a gacha game, because not even just in like how I answer it or how people answer it, but what questions they ask is important, because some companies can give out surveys that don't ask the right questions, and then they don't find out what the players actually want. And then the other big thing about this is, if they do ask good questions, are they actually going to accept the feedback of the players? So this is kind of two parts here. One is to kind of, for me to go through my answers to these questions, but for you guys to see what they're actually asking and seeing if they are asking the right questions, right? So let's go ahead and hop into it. Please enter your in-game player name that you use for the beta test. I believe we went with JoeWags. Okay, next. Please rate your overall satisfaction with the game on a scale of 1 to 5. 1 represents the least satisfied and 5 represents the most satisfied. I'm honestly leaning 1 or 2. I'm not that satisfied with the game. I'm going to go 2 because it does have some things I like about it, but the bulk of it I'm actually pretty disappointed. So let's go ahead. So I'm going to talk about why I rated it that way. I'll say 2, but then I kind of got to type it out here. So me personally, I don't want it to be, just to summarize to you guys, is I don't want it to be a PvP game. And I feel like turn-based combat is what I'm really looking for. So I'm just going to go ahead and type that in really quick. So I'm just going to say that it lacks team building, it lacks turn-based combat. And I'm just going to say I was really hoping... I really want to emphasize to them that we really like Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia. Something. Sorry, guys. I didn't realize I was going to be typing a bunch of paragraphs here, but we'll get through this quick. But yeah, I was really looking for something similar to Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia. And the thing that I really find disappointing about this is that this game, I don't feel like this game appeals to its audience, right? Like, the Final Fantasy franchise, for the most part, is like turn-based role-playing games. Now, some of the more modern ones are a little bit more action-based, but I feel like my honest thoughts is they're trying to fit this game into, like, I guess what I would call like the popular model, right? It's like the League of Legends, like Clash Royale, like they're trying to appeal to that audience because those games make a lot of money. But I wish they would just stay true to what Final Fantasy is. And I mean, I understand the Dissidia series has always been a little bit more action-based, and that's what they're going with. But I feel like, I don't know, maybe there's going to be enough clientele out there that like this. Maybe like the competitive, like there's a big competitive, gamer, type of player out there that maybe they'll spend a lot of money. But I feel like we all know, like, the default community, this isn't what we wanted, right? And we just, like, it's so sad because I really love the graphics of the game. The visuals are so good. The music is incredible. Like, some of the best music I've seen in a game. But anyways, let's continue with the survey. How likely are you to download and play this game? So here's what I'm going to say. When it comes out on phone, I will download and try the official launch just to give it a shot and see how it is. But on here, I am going to say not at all likely, because I want them to know that I'm disappointed in what we're seeing here, okay? And I'm going to say, why did you answer? I mean, it's really a lot of the same things, but I guess I will say I am not interested in playing a PvP game. In playing a PvP game. As a long time Final Fantasy player, I was really looking for traditional RPG elements like team building and turn-based combat. I'll also say the lack of a single-player mode is very disappointing. Okay. I mean, so as I did a previous video on, there is quote-unquote solo stuff. So if you guys remember, like a few videos ago before the beta test happened, right? I got really excited because they had a slide talking about single-player challenges. And to me, that sounded really fun. Like something I would really like. Like, okay, here's our solo mode. Maybe I can go around and play something a little bit different. But when I actually got into the beta and tried it, all it is, it's literally the exact same gameplay. It's just, it's AI controlled for the enemies instead of other players. And then all you're doing is they give you like this big grid on the character, like you're gaining new abilities for them or something. But all it is you're just getting rewards. So you're just basically doing fights where you're trying to do these challenges, and then you just earn like growth eggs and just like stuff like to upgrade your characters. But it's not actually like a skill tree for Terra or anything like that, right? So like, for example, I wanted me to do a fight and use her tornado ability like so many times while winning. I think it said use like 10 tornadoes and win the fight, right? Or purify this many crystals and win the fight. I hated it. It was literally just playing the PvP mode, but giving me extra objectives. And it technically wasn't PvP because the characters were AI controlled. But it's like everything I've seen in this game, it's all just 3v3, purify crystals, attack bosses. I hate it. I'm sorry, guys. I don't like it. I am not a fan of this gameplay and what I'm seeing here, right? Like, it's not what I want. It's not what I want. How likely are you to recommend this game to friends or family? And I'm going to say 0. I'm not going to recommend it. How much, if at all, did you enjoy the battle combat related aspects of the game? Did not enjoy it at all. Why did you answer? I much prefer the combat of Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia. And here's the other thing. Okay, this is where they're really missing out too, right? So I can complain all day about not liking PvP, not liking the action-based combat, all that stuff, right? But they have a right, like, considering it's a Dissidia game, this technically is the type of gameplay that they have. But my argument against it is, this does not fit a gacha model well at all. Like a mobile game, right? This isn't the type of game you want to play on mobile. Mobile games, like turn-based, just work so much better. So like this is a game, and so for the OG Dissidia fans, right? Their big complaint is they just wanted like a new console game. And I would say if you wanted to do something like this, it should have just been a console game or a PC game. But doing this as a gacha game, mobile game, it just is not working. All right, I mean, who knows? I could be wrong, right? The game could end up doing amazingly. Once again, it could appeal to a wider audience outside of the default community, maybe outside of the overall Final Fantasy community. But I think you're trying to appeal to a type of gamer. Like I said, you're looking at the more common Clash Royale, League of Legends, Pokemon Unite, what the new Dragon Ball Genkishin Squadra, which I have absolutely no interest in that, because that's what that is as well. There's just this drive where everyone's trying to go to this PvP model, and it's just, I don't like it. And I think the Final Fantasy IP, like typically what it is these games you're trying to attract people by using the IP of what you have. But Final Fantasy, I don't think it's going to be your target audience for this type of game. That's just my opinion, right? So, yeah, okay. Which characters were your favorites to play? I mean, I really liked Lightning, and I really liked Cryle. I thought Cryle was fun, although they're not giving me Cryle as an option. Oh, there she is, Cryle. I like those two. Why were these characters your favorites? I'm just going to say FF6 is my favorite game. For Cryle, I liked the unique play style. Unique play style. Okay. So I like Terra because of Final Fantasy VI. Cryle, I like the unique playstyle. It's fine. How much, if at all, did you enjoy the character progression, ability customization, enhancements, job medals in this game? I would say, I won't say I didn't enjoy it at all. I would say I didn't enjoy it very much. I don't know. Like, there's a lot of pieces there because, once again, you're summoning the character. You're summoning the abilities. I feel like it's just pretty greedy on the abilities because there's so many abilities to pull for, and then you have to pull dupes of a bunch of abilities. So, in terms of the actual, like, the job medals and the leveling up, it's fine. It's whatever. It's more the gameplay that's the problem, right? But I'm going to say here, it feels very pay to win that you're summoning for the actual attacks. To summon the abilities. And it's something that we noticed, right, in my beta stream that I did. I ran into my first match kind of blind, and I just got crushed, and I kind of felt very weak, whatever. Then I went into the Infinite Summoner until I summoned the UR Riot Blade, and then all of a sudden I, like, started having more fun, and I was killing enemies at, like, 3 at a time, but it was because I had summoned, like, the UR. So the fact that you can't enjoy the game on, it feels like you can't enjoy it on a free-to-play level, right? So I'm going to say this, because here's the thing, with every gacha game you play, they can be very enjoyable at a free-to-play level, right? If I play Star Rail and I only play with 4-star characters that I get for free in the game, and then you play long enough, you'll eventually summon a 5-star, whatever. But if you don't spend a dime on Star Rail, you can complete and enjoy the story just fine. You're going to be able to play pretty much all of the game, other than you're just not going to max out, like, the end game content. And that's fine, right? You look at Dokkan Battle. Dokkan's got so many insane free-to-play characters. You're going to be able to complete 90 to 90% of all content in the game with free-to-play characters in Dokkan, right? It's just the super, super high-end stuff that you're going to need to summon for some characters to do. This game, a game like this, if I wanted to sit, like, without, like, you're basically, the free-to-play experience on this is struggling and dying in PvP and completing challenges while getting crushed, assumedly, right? Until you get enough materials to summon stuff without paying money. This model just isn't going to be fun, right? So it feels way too pay to win to have to summon the abilities. It doesn't feel like there is an avenue to enjoy the game on a free-to-play level. All right, we'll go with that. I mean, that's kind of what I'm feeling like, right? How satisfied are you with the overall story, the cutscenes, the chat stories? They were fine. I'll say I'm somewhat satisfied with that. I don't mind that. I would say I wish there was more of just like a straight up solo campaign. Like, that's what the game needed, right? Like, the PvP can be like a part of it, but I feel like there needed to be a single player campaign that I could easily play through and enjoy and use my characters without the stress of summoning the high-end stuff, where I still feel like I could be playing with the characters and having fun, right? So yeah, I wish there was a single player campaign to progress the story. Okay. How satisfied were you with the graphics? Actually, I was very satisfied. Like that. So my two big positives about the game is I love the graphics and visuals, and I love the music. The music is so good in this freaking game. I haven't featured the music in any of my videos because I don't want to get a copyright strike. Typically, music is like the pickiest thing that'll get your videos turned off. So I would suggest, I think the Dissidia DB, they were one of the big parts of the DFO community. But if you follow Dissidia DB on Twitter, they've been posting a lot of music clips on the Twitter, and I definitely recommend you go and check that out because the music in this game is phenomenal. Love the music. So yeah, I would just say it has great visuals. And I do like the modern look of the characters. All right, we'll get that in. Perfect. All right, next. How satisfied were you with the overall UI and usability of the game? I feel like the UI is fine. I'll say somewhat satisfied. I just don't like the way the game plays. Yeah, I'm just not a fan of the battle system, to be honest, right? How satisfied are you with the quality of the translated text of this game? I'll say somewhat satisfied. My one flaw with it was there were some pop-ups that would come up that were not translated. And that, once again, is a bug they're working through and that they should know. So if they ask me, yeah, that's what I'm going to say. Okay, what, if any, areas of this game would you like to see improved? So they're not saying just related to the last question, right? Here's the thing, like, the game would need a total overhaul to fit what I want, right? So for me, it's like, I don't know if there's any amount of minor bug fixes, right, that are going to fix this for me, because it's the core gameplay I don't like, right? So I would say, yeah, what areas would I like to see improved? So I would like to see more of a focus on single player content where you can build your own teams. I would love the game to play more like DFO, right? But unfortunately, you would need to completely overhaul the game. Right? Honestly, my dream would be if they made an actual DFO 2, like same core gameplay, whatever. They make whatever tweaks they think they need to do to make more money. I don't even care if it's a little bit more money grabby. As long as it's like turn-based, I build my teams, but you plug in these this graphical style and music, and I would be in heaven. Like, that would be perfect, right? What, if any, potential collaborations would you like the game to do with other brands, characters, or products? Can include non-Square Enix. I mean, I would, for me personally, I'll take this one seriously, as in, like, collabs I wish other DFO did would be like Octopath Traveler. Octopath Traveler. What was the other one? I just had it. I know they've done, like, I mean, stuff with like the Mana series would be cool, right? Obviously everybody would love Kingdom Hearts. Sure, we'll put Kingdom Hearts on here. Oh, Bravely Default. That was the one I was trying to think of. Bravely Default. So, like, when we were talking back in DFO, when they're starting to kind of run out of characters, the big thing I always said is like, dude, give me like Tiz from Bravely Default, right? Or Anyas, any of that stuff. Octopath Traveler, like so many cool characters in there, right? Like, obviously, Kingdom Hearts, I understand why they probably wouldn't do, because then you've got the whole Disney licensing stuff on there, and pretty difficult to do, right? I'll just throw those down for now. What, if any, feedback do you have for the developers of this game? All right, I got a lot to say here, so I could put this in. I wonder, hold on, can I? Okay, here's what I'm going to do, because I want to type out something long here, but it's kind of what I've been talking about. So I'm just going to kind of summarize and tell them how I feel like they're targeting the wrong audience. I don't think this is the type of game that Final Fantasy lovers want to play. All that stuff. I'll summarize that there. So we'll go through and I'll come back to that one. Which of the following titles have you ever played in a Final Fantasy series? I've played Dissidia. I don't think I've played that one. I've played NT and hated it. Opera Omnia, yes. And then other Final Fantasies, yes. Okay. What does Final Fantasy series mean to you? Please choose the option closest to how you feel. Yeah, number 1. I love it so much and I consider it an important part of my life. Yes. Which of the following mobile games have you played for more than a week? See, this is where... Yeah, see this right here, guys? This is a big red flag. Like, look at the types of games they're listing here. Right? PUBG. You think Final Fantasy fans are PUBG players? Right? Clash Royale, I already brought it up. Pokemon Unite, I already brought it up. League of Legends, I already brought it up. They are trying, these are the competitors to this style of game, and this is what they are bringing it in, right? So guess what? I haven't played any of these because I hate this style of game. This is not what the Final Fantasy players want, right? And that's the last question. So I'll go back and finish that one on my own. But if we kind of review this, I do think they asked good questions. They definitely left me a lot of area to like get my thoughts out, things like that. So I think the survey is good. It's a matter of how seriously they're going to take it, right? So you guys let me know, if you took the beta, let me know kind of how your thoughts and feelings were and how you answered the survey. If you want to tell me a little bit about your thoughts, if you agree or disagree with what I'm saying in this video. But yeah, overall, to summarize it, I think they really hit on the wrong style of game here. I think they're getting a little bit too money grabby in terms of the style of game they're trying to produce here. I don't think it fits for mobile. It's not, like I said, and like the players that are playing this, like, okay, like I'm a high school teacher, right? Tons of my kids play Clash Royale. Tons, right? This is a very commonly known, like this appeals to the common general audience. Like tons of people play this. I guarantee you, any of my kids that play Clash Royale, most of them won't even know what Final Fantasy is. Like, so you're trying to pull in an audience that isn't, I don't know. There's going to be some crossover, like, and there's going to be some of you that watch this that do like this style of game, and that's fine. I just think that they're missing the main Final Fantasy audience. And so what they're going to do is they're going to try to pull in players that aren't familiar with Final Fantasy, and they're not, therefore, going to be as tied to the game or as in love with the game. That's my honest feeling, right? And when you're competing with big name stuff like Pokemon, League of Legends, Clash Royale, which is now commonly known, like I got students that are making artwork of these characters, right? Like all of this stuff. But yeah, I feel like they missed the mark. And like I said, I will try it when it comes out on mobile. I want to see what the final product looks like, and I want to see how it feels to play on my phone. But I foresee this being a game I probably try for a week, and I'm probably going to delete it. I don't know. We'll see. I'll cover it up until then, though, right? So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching. We'll catch y'all on the next one.